Universal Pictures has revealed that the next chapter in the blockbuster franchise will be titled Fast and Furious: Legacy, with a spring 2028 theatrical release locked in. The announcement signals a major milestone for one of Hollywood's most successful and long-running action franchises, promising a high-octane conclusion that honors the past while pushing the story toward a definitive end. After more than 2 decades of street racing, globe-trotting heists, and gravity-defying stunts, the road ahead is finally coming into focus. A title that signals an endgame. The title Fast and Furious: Legacy is doing a lot of heavy lifting, and that's no accident. Legacy immediately suggests reflection, history, and consequence. This isn't just another mission or another villain to take down. It's a story about everything Dominic Toretto and his extended family have built, broken, and survived since the franchise began back in 2001. From underground street races in Los Angeles to world-saving missions involving submarines, tanks, and space-bound cars, the series has evolved into something far bigger than its humble origins. This title hints that the next film will look backward as much as it looks forward, tying together long-running character arcs, unresolved rivalries, and emotional threads that have carried through multiple generations of films. In short, this isn't just another sequel. It's a statement. Why spring 2028 matters. A spring 2028 release places Fast and Furious: Legacy squarely in prime blockbuster territory. The franchise has long thrived in early summer and spring windows, dominating the box office with massive opening weekends and global appeal. The extended timeline also tells a story of its own. Rather than rushing the finale, the studio appears committed to taking the time necessary to craft a proper send-off. Large-scale action films of this size require extensive planning, international production schedules, and heavy visual effects work, especially when expectations are sky-high. The extra runway suggests that Universal wants this finale to feel earned, not just explosive. The end of the road for Dom Toretto. While plot details are being kept under tight wraps, all signs point to Legacy serving as the true conclusion to Dominic Toretto's saga, at least in its current form. Vin Diesel has repeatedly framed the franchise as a story about family above all else, and the final chapter is expected to lean heavily into that theme. Longtime fans can expect emotional callbacks, surprise reunions, and potentially heartbreaking goodbyes as the series reflects on what family has meant across more than 10 films. That doesn't necessarily mean the Fast and Furious universe is ending entirely. Spin-offs, side stories, and future reboots remain possibilities. But this film appears positioned as the closing chapter of the core storyline that began over 2 decades ago. Raising the stakes one last time. If history is any indication, Fast and Furious: Legacy won't be dialing things down. Each installment has consistently attempted to outdo the last: bigger action, higher stakes, more jaw-dropping set pieces. The challenge now is balancing spectacle with emotional payoff. Fans aren't just looking for another wild car stunt, they want resolution. Expect the final chapter to deliver personal consequences that actually stick. Long-running conflicts brought to a head. Characters forced to confront the cost of their choices. A finale that feels definitive, not open-ended. This is the rare blockbuster that has the chance to end on its own terms, and that opportunity isn't lost on the filmmakers. A franchise that redefined modern blockbusters. It's hard to overstate the cultural impact of Fast and Furious. What began as a modest street racing film evolved into a global phenomenon that reshaped how studios approach ensemble action franchises. The series turned cars into superheroes, redefined the concept of found family, and built a worldwide fanbase that spans generations. Along the way, it launched and cemented careers, introduced iconic characters, and proved that sincerity, not irony, could still drive billion-dollar box office success. Legacy now carries the weight of that history. What fans can expect next? With the title and release window confirmed, anticipation will only continue to build. Casting announcements, story teases, and production updates are expected to roll out gradually over the next couple of years, keeping the franchise firmly in the spotlight leading up to 2028. For longtime fans, this moment is bittersweet. The Fast and Furious films have been a constant presence in theaters for most of the 21st century. Knowing the end is approaching adds emotional gravity to every new detail that emerges. One thing is clear: when Fast and Furious: Legacy finally hits theaters in spring 2028, it won't just be another movie. It will be the culmination of a journey that defined an era of blockbuster filmmaking. The finish line is finally in sight, and Dom Toretto's family is preparing to cross it together. Checkered flag fire.